Fallout with Devon Sawa and Kate Bosworth, starring in this survival thriller. Now, I didn't really get a whole lot of time to look into this, so Luke, you're kind of the more of the expert on this, but it does sound like it'd be a pretty interesting, like they say, thriller involving one of your favorites, Devon Sawa.
Yes, this is true. I want to deem myself too much of an expert on this one. I did read the article. So it just seems like, Devon Sawa was in it, Tyrese Gibson. There's a couple other people attached to this one are going to basically be in an underground bunker that's malfunctioning. So they're losing oxygen, obviously food, everything like that. And tensions are just going to be high. So, and it does say, I think there was another darker element that's going to be dropped into here. They don't specify in the little release there as to what that's going to be. So I don't know if it's going to be like, a murderer in the midst or anything like that. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen here. I would love for this to turn out to randomly be some sort of weird creature feature if we are dealing with nuclear fallout and something gets in. I don't know if that would ever be the case. But and seeing Devon Sawa in something, really diving deeper into the horror roots here. I have a huge love for Idle Hands, and then having him, in that space, and then kind of just not really doing too much for a long while, and then getting into Chucky. He did Black Friday. He's doing a couple other things. I do love seeing him back, and I love that he's getting more roles. So Devon Sawa being part of this is really the big vehicle for me to go see this because we all love his performances in Chucky, I think. So to kind of see him branching out and getting more horror properties, it's always a plus.
Oh yeah, and I've recently gotten more involved with Devon Sawa, especially with the Chucky series. I think he's a very charismatic actor. But I'm excited to see this kind of a concept go through here with the kind of being stuck in a fallout shelter. You do mention there could be a little bit of a sinister element to it. With it says here that there's more of a sinister plan afoot. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm curious to also know if this is going to end up in theaters. It'll probably be more of a streaming
I
vehicle,
think so.
is what it seems like, which is fine. But yeah, I think that this could be a good bit of fun. I know when you sent me the list of stories and this covering Devon Sawa, I was like, well, I got to throw this bone in there for Luke because it's like he's definitely you know hot on this guy, and I understand why. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like you do the films you've talked about and his performance in Chucky. Again, very charismatic dude. I want to see him kind of start to kind of remake that climb a little bit and maybe get into some bigger picture stuff as things move on here. But I think this could be a good bit of fun. The only thing that I would say that I think they need to change the name possibly is
Yes.
because I feel like this will uh, mislead people to thinking this could be
It's
related to the Fallout universe,
yeah.
video games
It'll
wise.
garner an audience that doesn't technically exist because it's not
Mm.
part of the actual gaming franchise. So I agree as well. Hopefully they do change it by the time this does come out because I don't think you need to have something called Fallout out there in that space. And but having Devin Sawa back in the horror community like this and branching out, I think it's only good things. I think he can really be a mainstay in the horror community and for the next decade plus just randomly popping up in horror properties as a cameo as well as being the leading man in a lot of horror properties as well.